checkers all the time. Your book's about the way she don't look at it straight. Gonna make you mine. So email me news and choose that you used to take me at the feet. I'll drink up the sadness to see in me. Everything that I see in you. Yeah, I'll get together. Yeah, like, ooh, wanna hold the contents of your pockets. Wanna be your high heaven pilot. Wanna put my picture in your wallet. Wanna sit with you and eat chocolate. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Cut it out! Your self-inflicted pain is getting too routine. The crowds are catching on to the self-inflicted song. Well, here we go again. The art of acting weak. Far enough to fail to boost your CD sales. And that CD sales, yeah, what a hit. You got to repeat it. You gotta sink to swim. First you don't succeed. You gotta recreate your misery. We all know art is hard. Young artists, we gotta start. Try and fail and try again. The comforts of repetition. Keep churning out those hits till it's all the same old shit. Oh, second verse. We're calling me fatigued. I'm hiding in the leaves, in the CD jacket sleeves. Tired of entertaining some double dip meaning. A sauce of analogy. This drunken angry slur in 31 flavors. You gotta sink to swim. Immerse yourself in rejection. Regurgitate some sorry tales. Souls gotta boil themselves as love affairs. You gotta fake, man. You better make it seem to break the leg. But when you get on stage and the scream your name. You gotta sink to swim. A person that great understands. 'Cause we all know art is hard, but we don't know who we are. Hey, 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 hey.
What's up, everyone? Hello. Yeah, I'm thinking it's time for a stream, maybe. I think it's time for a little bit of a stream. What's going on? I just dripped on myself, so there's that. Smoke a doobie. I was literally gonna smoke, but I realized I don't have anything down here. I don't have any weed in my office. It's all upstairs. I don't want to go get that. What's up? The alert box is silenced. I remember I did that for a reason. I don't really remember why. Fuck. Thanks for all the subs, everybody. Oh my god, hang on. Okay, there we go. Now it's quiet, but should still make a noise. Oh, fuck. Thanks, Terrence Phillip. Thanks, Pant Wizard, Wastasser Sauce. PP the King Prawn. Les Baby. It's Nerf or something. Sai is by. Rice bye. Thank you for the bits. Thanks, everyone. Good to see everyone in chat. Mossy Espresso, Berry Bear 21 with the 5 months. That's basically crazy. It's Nerf or laser tag. Guys, we got a lot going on, okay? There's a lot happening in the world.
5 months tie for the content P-man.
I'm the new CEO of YouTube. They asked me to do it. I had to say yes.
Hi P, you're a great surprise for a shitty day, loudly crying.
Glad I can be a good surprise. Yeah, YouTube does have a new CEO. It's a guy who's really into NFTs, so that's cool. Nothing's gonna change. He's already worked for YouTube for like 15 years, so it's like, you know, it's just gonna be the same shit. CEOs don't really make a lot of good decisions anyway. They're really just fall guys for when the board makes a really bad decision, so doesn't really matter.
What a wonderful gift. How thoughtful.
I thought it was really funny that Ludwig was like, maybe it'll be good. And it's like, oh, all right, man. Just like he had a really bad take on it. I just thought that was truly outrageous and funny in a way. Susan is no longer with us. She retired.
No way! I don't believe
I wish her well.
Happy Friday.
Anyway. Jordan's middle name is Burnt? No, it's not.
No way! I don't believe it.
It is. His middle name is Burnt. What the fuck? That's crazy. What was I gonna do? I was gonna open Chatterinos when I was gonna do. Anyway. Yeah, Jordan Peterson burnt my ass. Guys, we got a lot to do, alright? There's a lot of business we need to conduct, okay? We need to catch up. I'm not streaming enough, so every time I do stream... Thanks, Rice, for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Every time I stream, I have to, like, catch up on what's been going on. But I will be streaming more, don't worry. I thought you meant Jordan Adika. Yeah, true. His middle name is Peterson. Thanks, Renism, for the 2 months. Bobby Athi for the Prime. Gary Sr. for the 7 months. Thank you so much. Lynn's S for the 7 months. You guys are crazy. You guys are basically just insane. I really appreciate it, though. Yeah, the B in Peterson is for Bernt. That's great. Jordan Reed 11. I thought you meant me. No. Welcome to the chat, though. A lot of mass shootings have been happening, so that's cool. But in lighter news, I want to cover some more Ben Shapiro. Last time we were on stream, we watched a bunch of Ben Shapiro, and truly, I can't get enough.
Okay, time for some.
I think I'm in love with him. Yeah, jump scare. Audio jump scare. Smelly Ben. Smelly Ben. We love him. We love Smelly Ben. Thank you, Rice, for another gifted sub. Redistributing. This is my first time catching live because I'm subscribed, but I'm wage slaving away, so I can't really stick around. Dude, boss makes $1, you make a dime. Watch the Ethan stream on your whatever. Watch it at work. No, everyone else is. I'm gonna be listening to this while drawing, so thanks in advance. Hell yeah. Every time I stream, someone's like, I needed this, and it's like, yeah, you would have been alright. You would have been okay without a stream. Are you left or right? I can't tell. What do you mean, politically? Is that... What do you mean you can't tell? I mean, I guess I just said I love Ben Shapiro. Maybe I should be more careful with my words. I love Ben Shapiro because he's an idiot. I love Ben Shapiro because he's a fool. Should he use tone indicators? Yeah, I'm actually a libertarian. So, I mean, Ben Shapiro's he's been on one. He's been running the tour. You know, every possible moment he's capitalizing on really just having the worst possible take at any given time. Last time I streamed, we watched a little bit of him debunking every feminist talking point in 9 minutes, which he never did any of that. He just danced around the talking points and, you know, focused on, which he always does, focused on the semantics. You know, he's criticizing your choice of words in your specific scenario rather than actually addressing systemic problems and addressing actual arguments. Very clever little guy.
Okay.
I think, hang on. I think we'll do this one. So, student challenges Ben Shapiro on transgenderism. If it makes them happier, what's the harm? So let's see Ben Shapiro's counterpoint to leave trans people alone. They aren't hurting you. Because, I mean, what the fuck is he going to say? Like, yes, actually, they are hurting me. He's going to say they're hurting society. That's what he's going to say. He's going to say, well, they're hurting society. They're, you know, it's actually not harmful when they're telling young children to mutilate themselves. That's. I don't know if that's far enough for Ben. I think that's definitely something Matt Walsh would say. But Ben Shapiro, I don't know. Do you think he believes his own bullshit, or do you think he's just a grifter? It's hard to tell. I think he really does believe it because he's been posting horrible takes for like a really long time. Since like he was 17.
Hi, thank you for the talk. I just had a question about a comment you made at the beginning about transitioning from male to female or otherwise.
Yes.
You've talked a lot tonight about how important it is to let people believe what they want to believe and how the government and us have no say telling people what they should think or what they should be able to say. I just wanted to ask, what's the harm, you know, if somebody's going to be a happier person because they say that they're a man or a woman, like what's the harm in just letting them do it?
I'm not.
It literally says Ben Shap on his fucking lapel. What the fuck is this? What is this graphic design? Ben Shap. Ben Shap Hend? Ben Shap. What the fuck does that say? Ben Shap. I shap my pants. Yeah, Ben Shapiro, he's literally being confronted with the argument of like, well, if you're a libertarian, then why do you think the government should be legally allowed to prevent transgender people from receiving medical care and adopting children and, you know, all kinds of other things? And Ben Shapiro is going to say, well, I don't actually think that, I think it's fine. They should do whatever they want. They just can't force it on everyone else. Everyone has the right to discriminate against them.
Not in favor of government banning people who are adults. Children I'm in favor of banning because...
And then I mentioned the children thing already.
Now you're talking about somebody who's not capable of consent. Right? All of our laws are based on the ability of people to consent. If you're a child, you can't consent.
You can, though. And teaching children that, like, they can consent to things that they are able to do, like, medically is important to introducing how consent works when you're talking about sex, right? Like, you have to teach kids what consent is by exposing them to things they can consent to at a younger age so they know and have an understanding of boundaries. That's, like, a huge problem with sex education, right? Is that, like, sexual consent is the only kind of consent we consider to be consent, when in reality you consent to things all the time, and we never like actually talk about that with kids, so they don't have an understanding, so their ability to give and receive consent is completely destroyed by the time they're adults. So that's just a stupid thing to say.
Let's say, hypothetically, that watching the Ethan is online broadcast would make you based and swag and awesome.
True.
And that, for the sake of argument, not watching the Ethan is online broadcast would make you a stinky goober who gets no bitches and stacks no cash. And that, in this proposed scenario, Pethan Online is nominally the greatest streamer in the history of Twitch, that weed and shrooms are awesome, and that banana milk is the best beverage on earth. This is the future that Joe Biden and the left want. Let's say, hypothetically,
Based. Ben Shapiro's best take, actually. God, look at this auditorium of fucking losers.
So I'm very much in favor of banning gender transition for kids. I think that it's frankly evil. I think you're making decisions for children who are not capable of making decisions for themselves that are permanent and have long...
Like, who is making the decision for the kids? It's the kids making the decision. And we're not even talking, like, Ben Shapiro will say kids, implying that they're like 7 years old, when we're talking about like 12 to 17. Like, we're not talking about elementary school, Ben. We're talking about adolescent kids. We're talking about teenagers for the most part. So, like, it's just gross. Like, they have identity. They have sense of self. Ben Shapiro has no sense of self currently because he's just a fucking blob in a greater machine of conservative agitprop.
Long-lasting, significant, and severe impact.
Yeah, no one forces trans kids into transitioning. In fact, it's, if anything, the opposite. Systemically.
As far as adults, if you're 25 and you want to get a sex
If you're 25, that's when Ben Shapiro thinks it's okay. 25, for example. Not 18. That's a little too close to being a teenager.
change surgery and you feel like it's going to make you feel better, you have the right to do it.
And then everyone has the right to discriminate against you also, legally, according to Ben Shapiro.
Do. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean,
Which also isn't true. This is also counter to what Ben advocates for. Like, he advocates to, like, jail doctors who do transitions for fucking minors that are consenting to it. Well, who the fuck do you think is going to do the transitions for adults? It's the same doctors, Ben. So if they're too scared to do it to minors, they're probably not going to do it to adults. And then these doctors are either going to be all in jail or all not doing transition surgeries. Like, there's just going to be no gender affirming care. That is the process of conservative erasure of trans existence. That's how it works.
the research on this stuff tends to be somewhat conflicting, but if it works for you...
Completely untrue. It's only conflicting if you're looking at sources that conflict the actual science.
It works, right? It's a free country. Now, that's really not the question that's being asked in our society today, because I don't think there are that many people who are like, we want to ban gender surgery for a 30-year-old.
That's literally what Ben and Matt Walsh both want.
I'm not seeing the campaign for that. What I am
Where did that come from?
seeing is a campaign on the left that says that my child is going to be removed from my home 10 years from now if I don't agree with the left's view of how I should treat my child's gender confusion at age 4.
Incorrect. Incorrect completely. Once again, Ben Shapiro not actually addressing the question and instead making up a scenario to get mad about. Ben Shapiro is now saying, my child is going to be taken away from me if I don't conform to the left's gender ideology, which, imagine thinking leftists agree on anything, first of all. But second of all, like, thank you for all the subs, guys. Sorry, I'm dropping the ball on counting them out because I'm focused, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Kaneda, for the 6 months. Holy shit. Also, Ben Shapiro would beat the shit out of his kids if they were trans in all likelihood. Before, Matt Walsh gets to them.
Pedophile.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't know where that came from. And then, it's just so frustrating. Because it's like, yeah, it's a slippery slope to let people exist. It's the same thing people said about gay people.
I see the left suggesting that they want to fine me if I refuse to say that a man is a woman as a general proposition. Right? If I say that men and women are separate, then the left says
Ethan,
this
my
is
friend,
discrimination.
met Ben Shabibo when he came to his university, and Ben has special shoes to make him taller.
No way, really? Oh, that's funny. I'm not surprised. How do you feel about Cocaine Bear? Looks funny. He's got little boy shoes. That's so funny. Hang on, I need to listen to this again.
And is a woman as a general proposition.
If I refuse to say that a man is a woman, okay, we've gone from talking about a 4-year-old to talking about men and women.
Right? If I say that men and women are
Which, you know, conservatives don't see the difference between a 4-year-old and a grown person.
Pedophile.
Not for any particular reason.
separate, then the left says this is discrimination.
No one says that. Ben Shapiro's just lying.
Or the left is going to suggest that it has no impact on my business if I employ a woman at Hooters and she shows up the next day as a man. Right?
What the fuck?
If I employ a woman at Hooters and she shows up the next day as a man.
So he's saying that businesses should be able to discriminate against trans people because what if someone is hired at Hooters and then they don't have big titties the next day? The day after they're hired. That's happened so many times.
Right? Like that does have an impact on my business, right? But the left would suggest, well, you know, you should.
The left doesn't want to think about flat-chested Hooters boys. The left doesn't want femboy Hooters. Think about that.
You just sort of deal with it. Well, it turns out that gender does mean something, and it does have an actual meaning to people outside of you. I'm not going to go along with the general societal willingness to rewrite basic facets of human nature and human biology.
Okay, so now we're circling back to Ben being the victim of his own advocacy and his own argument. So Ben Shapiro is saying, all right, guys, I mean, we need to do a diagram of what Ben Shapiro is saying because he's so stupid that you can't represent his ideas in anything other than MS Paint. Oh my God. Hang on. We're getting there. Okay. Check this out. So Ben is saying trans people are an outlier. And then he says society or the left.
I'm watching this while playing hide and seek with my baby cousins. Please whisper so they don't find me.
Oh, okay. I won't talk very loud. Sorry. Society or the left enforces transness. But then he says, I refuse to accept societal gender ideology. And somehow trans people are the outlier there? It seems to me that Ben Shapiro is actually the real outlier, because according to him, he's the only motherfucker who thinks this way. Does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense to me. It hurts my brain. Because he's like, well, trans people, you know, they're like 1% of the population or whatever, which is like a drastically underestimated number. So we shouldn't have to like appeal to them societally. But also the left, aka Joe Biden, is like pro-trans and they're taking over the country. I refuse to accept it. But also society shouldn't have to conform to these outliers of society. That doesn't make any fucking sense, Ben. He's a dumb man. It's like Hassan was saying on stream the other day. In the same way that people talk about China, conservatives talk about trans people. They're both the weakest and the strongest enemy possible. What's up, Mari? Thank you so much for the raid. What's up, everyone? What's up, Mari Chatters? MILF raid. What's up? Hope you had a good stream. We're breaking down Ben Shapiro. I'm breaking him down to a little puddle. Anyway, that was all I needed to do.
And frankly, mammalian biology.
Mammalian biology. Well, that's okay. That's just absurd. Mammalian biology, implying that like human beings are representative of all mammals. Not true.
In order to suggest that a delusion is true.
And also, he's also saying a delusion. So he's literally saying that being trans is a delusion. Like, that's crazy. And also, there's no such thing as a fucking mammal other than a human being that has a gender. Dogs don't have a gender. Dolphins don't have a gender. They have a sex. So either gender doesn't exist at all and it's fully made by society, or gender and sex are the exact same thing and you can use these terms interchangeably. Neither of these things are true or make any sense. When you look at a dog, you don't say that's a man. That's a man dog. Let me go walk my woman dog. I've made this point before, but it's crazy.
True. Now, if the best thing for the person is for the person they can't change what they're thinking, there's no way for them to get out of it, they want to change their body so they feel that it is more in line with what they're thinking, more power to them, that's their problem.
What he ignores by doing this and, you know, capitulating to this really fucking pussy attitude of just like, well, no, I want people to do what they want. I just also want it to be legally, you know, allowed to be discriminatory to those people. He's got no fucking spine. He won't just come out and say it. But it's also like he has to ignore the fact that trans youths, which is why we talk so much about minors when we're talking about trans people, is because going through puberty as a trans person is genuinely traumatizing. And any trans person would tell you that. Oh my God. That's why hormone blockers are huge. Like a huge part of the conversation. Because when trans people go through puberty as like a experience of dysphoria, right? Where it's like if they identify as female and they are a trans woman and they are biologically male and they fucking go through male puberty, that's extremely traumatic. A trans woman growing facial hair fucking sucks for them. And that is like a huge factor in trans suicide. It's not always the case, but it is very commonly the case.
Problem. And as I've said before, by the way, I've said this 1,000 times and everybody on the left automatically ignores it, of course. I've said that if I were in a room with a transgender person having dinner with that person, I wouldn't go out of my way to call them by their biological sex. Because it's rude, right? I wouldn't do that.
Except he does that for people all the time. So he's saying behind closed doors, I would be normal. But out in public, on my broadcast regularly, you know, of course, I'm going to misgender people on purpose and dead name them. He'll dead name Elliot Page. He'll dead name Caitlyn Jenner, dude. Someone who's been openly trans for almost 10 years. Yeah, he also does think the left is Hillary Clinton, which is genuinely baffling.
If I were sitting right across from them. But if you're asking me in a public forum whether a man is a man and a woman is a woman, or asking me to call a man a woman in a public forum, the answer is no.
So what's Blair White's name, Ben? What does he call Blair White? Does he say he about Blair White? In a public forum? He's such a little dancer. All he does is dance around the problem. It's so frustrating. And and look at how long that silence was. Look at this.
Me to call a man a woman in a public forum, the answer is no.
No one knows what this dude is talking about.
or asking me to call a man a woman in a public forum, the answer is no.
They all start clapping because it's fucking awkward. Dude, this is at fucking Stanford University. What a disgrace. What a goddamn disgrace.
So the other thing is...
Apple. Sorry, I was looking at... I got a notification for something. I'm only transphobic in the abstract. I'm too afraid to actually do it. Yeah. And that's not even necessarily true anymore. This is from 3 years ago. He's a lot more bold than he used to be. Leftist woman asked Ben Shapiro if he's transphobic. Now he would openly say yes, I feel like. At the time, he's probably like, no, but I do think a man is a woman and a woman is a man, or whatever.
Okay.
Someone said this was good. What are asexuals supposed to do on Valentine's Day? I love questioning the validity of someone's sexuality and means of personal expression by the standards of a holiday that is completely made up by drugstores and chocolate companies to just sell candy.
Okay, time for some things that I hate.
Oh my god, dude, what is this? Fucking 2014? Jesus Christ. Ah, this is so bad. Oh my god. Ben, this is embarrassing. Ugh.
So, Valentine's Day is coming up this week, and the Washington Post is focused laser-like on the people most affected by Valentine's Day. These would be people who are...
He said Valentine's Day. Learn how to talk, you fucking loser.
Asexual and aromantic. We should just call these lonely people. But now, apparently, we have to have like a big focus on this. This is one of my biggest annoyances in life, seriously, is that
This is one of his biggest annoyances in life. This is a pathetic man. Make no mistake, Ben Shapiro is a very sad person.
rules and ceremonies, and they apply to the vast majority of the population.
Also, his stubble looks like shit, I gotta say.
And are pressed because they are transgressive in the extreme. All they care about is breaking rules and norms.
He's got the kind of like mustache that's like too long. It's like too, not long, but like wide. And his lip is too thin to make it work. So it just looks like he has like all mustache. If he grew a mustache, it would look really creepy.
They find the person who is like outside the box, like, but isn't this person victimized by Valentine's Day? Isn't this? So you have a standard in society that people should generally not be hugely obese. People should try to keep fit. So they find this one person who is very happy being extraordinarily obese. Like, but what about Bob? Have you thought about Bob? Well, this is what we're now doing with Valentine's Day. We must remember the plight of the asexual and aromantic.
OMG,
on
4 months of Peethin. Woo.
Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate it. No, dude, I don't understand. When Ben Shapiro runs out of shit, when Ben Shapiro runs out of people to purposely shit on, he just makes up a guy. He just makes one up. He literally is like, let's talk about Bob, this guy who doesn't exist, because I'd like to make him feel bad in my head.
Valentine's Day. See, here's the thing. As a member of a minority group in the United States, namely I'm an Orthodox Jew.
That's funny.
I don't feel like every...
Bro is the, like, straightest, whitest man. Not to mention, I do actually think Ben Shapiro is asexual. I think Ben Shapiro is straight up ace. I think he doesn't understand. He's not, like, sex repulsed, but he doesn't understand sex apart from, like, he's supposed to do it for society purposes. Like, he literally is like, yeah, you're supposed to have sex to make babies. That's, like, the point. Like, I genuinely think there's, like, something in his head that's missing that, like, to understand, like, value of sex outside of procreation. But then sometimes he'll, like, lie. Like, sometimes he'll say, like, oh, my favorite thing about vacationing with my wife is all the sex. And it's like, yeah? Is it, Ben?
Every Christmas, there has to be a story in the New York Times about what do Orthodox Jews do on Christmas? What aren't they left out? Yeah, we're left out. And also, we just go and eat Chinese food. Like, what's the problem? Why do we have to have full stories about it? But apparently, it is very important to think of the
Okay, ignoring the fact that like a Jewish person probably wrote that story and usually does every year, like it's just such a weird thing to compare. It's like I'm Jewish and we don't get to celebrate Christmas. Even though you could still celebrate Christmas if you just like wanted to. You could still like do presents and have a tree. Like I'm not religious and I also celebrate Christmas for fun. But Ben Shapiro really doesn't understand that concept. But regardless, if you didn't want to celebrate Christmas because you're an Orthodox Jew, like I don't know, it's just not the same as being excluded from society because you're overweight and discriminated against. Like there's a difference between exclusion and discrimination. Ben Shapiro only faces discrimination in his anti-Semitic comment section when they actually are able to make out the fact that he's wearing a yarmulke because he happens to be wearing one that's the exact same color as his hair, and he wears it so far back on his head that you can barely see it unless you look for it.
The plight of people like Odella Pax, 37, who has always been skeptical of Valentine's Day. She's not opposed to romantic gestures, she said, but the holiday feels capitalistic and corporate-driven as companies entice couples to spend big on presents and chocolate. If I have a partner, why do I only have to give them presents on one day? Why do I only give them flowers on one day? Why is that day in particular?
Dude, he has got insane gamer posture. That's crazy, dude. That's a posture check for everyone in chat. Look at that. He's like... does he have eye problems, you think? He can't see his fucking computer, so he's got to put his face in the screen?
Special, said the Pensauken at New
The shrimp check.
Jersey resident, it just never made sense to me. Pax's skepticism is widely shared, but hers comes with a twist. She identifies as
Bro, he can't even read.
both asexual and idem romantic. And we just used to call these lonely people. Now they're an actual minority protected class. Asexual and idem romantic, which means she does not have any desire for sex, and she doesn't make any distinction between romantic and platonic feelings. There's like a group for that? So what to do with a holiday that assumes romantic and sexual attraction are the norm? This year, she's been doing what she usually does on February 14th, making time for self-love and self-care. It sounds like this person has a lot of time for self-love and self-care because all they do is think about themselves all day long. For her, that means soaking in a hot bath before curling up in bed with her 3 stuffed animals, Findall, Marsha, and Sylvia, the last 2 named after trailblazing trans activist Marsha P. Johnson.
This is insane, dude. This is like actually insane. I don't think I can make it through this whole video without like getting fucking violent. I don't think like it's just a nothing story that was probably made for a fucking like this was probably written by a transphobe. Like let's be real. It's the fucking Washington Post. Maybe not. She curates gender and identity coverage, blah, blah, blah. All right. She got lucky. But I mean, it's even still like, or we got lucky for this being the one fucking non-transphobic journalist in America. I'm in your bedroom moving all your stuff around. No, wait, don't. Listen, it's just so sad to like look at this article that like 6 people read in the whole fucking world that you have to pay to read. Ben Shapiro paid to get mad at this article. And all it does is just like educate people on like, yeah, you know, not everyone's straight. You know? Playing on the PS5, deleting all your saves.
In the future,
I'm ignoring that from now on. I want to see Ben Shapiro and Anna Kasparian because every time I've seen Anna Kasparian debate Ben Shapiro, which is one other time, she pulls her punches really hard for some reason. She's really bad at debating him, even though she ripped out Dennis Prager's little asshole. But for some reason is just like not able to debate him. I don't understand why. I think she actually like is too cordial with him.
One of the places where
and she has no reason to be cordial with Dennis Prager, so she just fucked him up. Anyway, let's see.
will actually be bipartisan agreement is, I think indirectly it will have serious effects on labor, but the sort of willingness now to face up to the threat that China represents is going to have some pretty dramatic impact on
Shut up, dude. Like, we would be so much better off. The threat China possess, like, the threat of China doing what, bro? The threat of China doing what? Making more money than us? Okay. Are they gonna fucking invade? Ben looks like dog shit. Yeah, he's wearing a lot of makeup here. She gives him pure respect for some reason. Yeah, true. Ben doing troll face. The threat of China existing. Being communist. They're not even communist. That's the funniest part.
reshaping supply chains, on reshaping how manufacturing and labor work, particularly in the United States. I think a lot of the outsourcing that has gone to China is going to be reshored in fairly short order, given the fact that both parties are now realizing what a threat China represents.
Dude, a threat to what? Was this happening? This was happening 8 days ago. That's like when the balloon was fucking floating around. So that must be why they're being so fucking reactionary. I swear to God. I can't watch this. This is about them debating China, isn't it? Oh my God. I can't do this. Money in politics creates more division. How much power the federal government should have. These are such awful topics. What happened? Why are they talking about such boring things? Ben Shapiro will use this as an example of him engaging with a leftist and having like civil debate when they aren't talking about anything Ben talks about.
For example, that both parties are subject to regulatory capture, or that they're subject to their own stock portfolio. You know, some people would say, okay, elect better people. We need to, if we just elect people of this party, it'll fix it. If we elect this guy, he's going to fix it. And then there's the sort of Thomas Sowell position.
No, you regulate money out of politics. Easy, clap.
Which is, it's not a problem of people, it's a problem of incentive structures.
Yes,
The incentive
yes.
structures in Congress are just broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you have this number of people, 435 people in Congress, who are controlling this amount of money and this amount of regulatory power, that will corrupt, right? I mean, you put that much power at the hands of a very small cadre of people, whether you're talking about in the executive branch, in the regulatory state, whether you're talking about people in the legislative branch, it's innately going to tempt them to enrich themselves and self-serve and self-heal. I mean, this is something...
Yes, and it should be fucking illegal to do that. It should be, like, extremely illegal. Like, I'm not even pro-capital punishment. But it should be punishable by death to, like, prioritize enriching yourself over actually serving the people who elected you. Like, one of the worst things you could possibly do.
Thing that the founders actually were very much focused on, which was the idea the federal government was going to have very little power. And so this does raise the question of how much power you think the federal government ought to...
Impossible. Functionally impossible in the world that we live in now. Ben Shapiro's living in a dream world.
...to have, because if we're talking about, you know, kind of the solutions that get implemented, I'm a big fan of the idea that California ought to be California and Florida ought to be Florida, and basically that may be the only way that California and Florida can share a nation is if they're allowed to do...
God, even when he laughs, he just
Florida,
looks
and
pissed
basically
off.
that may be the only way that California and Florida can share a nation.
He's been talking for a solid minute straight. His brain has been broken by himself. Like, he just won't... What are we talking about right now, Ben? What are we saying? There's a danger to so many years spent speaking to yourself. His lip filler, bro. His default state is condescension. Yeah, true. I think it's because he's talking to a woman. He can't help but condescend. Did Ben get Botox? I mean, look at his forehead. Looks like he did. Please change the pause frame. No, I'm farming a thumbnail. This is what's known as a micro expression. They used these in the OJ trial. Looking like a drag queen out of makeup right now. This is what's called a micro expression, and they use these in the OJ trial. I don't think it's real science. I think it's been debunked. But the idea is when you start a sentence or end a sentence, sometimes the little expressions you give away in the interim can give away what you're actually feeling when you're masking a lot of your emotions. Almost all forensic science is so bunk. It is bunk, but I think it's very interesting. He's soy facing, dude.
is if they're allowed to do what they want in their own particular purviews. But
Which is bullshit. Federalism's such fucking shit, dude. Not federalism. Like states' rights are bullshit. I'm sick of it. Like, state boundaries are completely arbitrary. Not only does it sow division in the sense where it like raises people under completely different circumstances, it also like fucks people over so badly. Like, it creates such a toss-up of material conditions that's like, why do you think West Virginia is the way it is? Like, West Virginia lives in basically third world country conditions so that New York City can be New York City. Like, there is a sacrifice of one state for another, basically. Yeah, and like the environments of states, like when you're in Arkansas, it doesn't feel like you're in Arkansas, does it? You drive all of a sudden and you're in Arkansas, and all of a sudden it's a felony to have weed. Insane. It's such bullshit. The law should just be the same in one country. It's absurd.
Because of nationalized social media, and because of the amount of power that's in the federal government, we focus in on the federal government. That means that we care deeply about what happens on
Other than culture, which shouldn't affect politics, there's no reason for state separation. No, not even a little bit.
the federal level every single day. If you went back 200 years, no one cared who the president was because the president didn't have that much power. So what do you think of the idea of sort of delegating power back down to the states instead of centralizing back up into a central government that does?
No. The only reason Ben Shapiro wants this, again, shrimp check. The only reason Ben Shapiro wants this is because state legislatures are overwhelmingly conservative because no one fucking votes in state elections, and conservatives basically win by default. Marjorie Taylor Greene's a great example, even though she's a congresswoman, but Marjorie Taylor Greene ran unopposed. Most state legislatures run unopposed. That's why Ben Shapiro wants this, and there's no reason, there is literally no other reason. Ben Shapiro just wants power to be given to state governments because they're conservative. California has Republican state senators. That is crazy. And a lot of them, too. Thank you again for another gifted sub, Rice.
Capacity to be used by both sides for corrupt purposes, for example.
It depends. I mean, I think that, you know...
And Anna knows that, too. I'm going to be really disappointed if she doesn't bring that up.
It's funny because I've always been super focused on national politics, but over the last several years...
Yeah, because that's what matters more.
I've been a lot more, honestly, fascinated with what's happening in California. I think for obvious reasons. Local politics is fascinating to me. And in terms of what impacts my day-to-day life, I've realized that these local decisions have more of an impact than what's happening on a federal level. There's a lot of gridlock and a lot of nonsense happening on a federal level. So
I mean, it just depends on what you're talking about. If you're trans, the state legislature certainly has a lot to say about your existence. But that's also part of it, is that state legislatures are like insanely caught up in culture war. Like fucking South Dakota. All they do is they're just like, here's a new anti-trans bill every fucking week. Here's a bill that makes fucking here's a bill that makes it illegal for Chinese spy balloons to fly over South Dakota. Like, it's whatever's happening that week, South Dakota and whatever fucking gargoyle that is the governor of South Dakota, that owns the state of South Dakota. Whatever's on her mind, whatever's on her Facebook feed that Ben Shapiro influences is what is going to be in the legislature. That is also why Ben Shapiro wants more power to state legislatures, is because he is in their ear. He and libs of TikTok were directly mentioned in the Florida Don't Say Gay bill. Directly.
So I think that's part of the reason why it's not...
Ben Shapiro was also mentioned in a couple of mass shootings, but he doesn't like to talk about that. That's real, by the way. Ben Shapiro was mentioned by name in at least one, I think 2 mosque shootings in the manifesto of the shooters.
Coming down to impact our lives on a daily basis. I think the federal government should be tasked with important regulations to protect the consumer, because greed is a thing. Okay, the fiduciary responsibility to shareholders is real.
Like, there's just no better, like, ironically, China is a great example of central planning. Like, China is not perfect, don't get me wrong, China bad, all that, whatever, but they certainly don't fuck around when it comes to people getting poisoned. Like, 3 babies died from bad,
5 months.
Oh, thank you for the 5 months, Ty Storm. like 3 babies died from poisoned fucking what's it called, formula in China, right? And they literally just fucking killed the dude who was responsible. Like, he knew it and he sold the formula anyway. And they killed him for it. And that shit happens every day in America. But the people who in America get away with it are in the ear of our legislators, and that's why. There was a shooter at my high school on Monday. It was fucking terrifying. Oh my God. I'm glad you're okay. I hope everyone else was fine too.
And so how do you balance that with the need to protect workers and consumers? I think you need a federal government and a regulatory body to focus on that. When it comes to civil rights, you need that protection on a federal level. You can't just leave it to the states. You know, you don't want one state to say, nah, we're not into interracial marriage. We're going to ban that. Or we don't want.
Yeah, like, rights need to be protected and upheld by a central government. There's just no way to do it otherwise. You can't go from one state to another and all of a sudden your marriage is considered invalid, or your identity is considered like you're able to discriminate against your identity. That's insane.
Want to, you know, have equal rights based on, or equal rights for everyone. Some races we like more than others. You know, you need a federal government to protect civil rights. But I do agree with you that Americans have not been paying enough attention to what's happening on a local level.
Because of conservatives.
There are certain things that can be dealt on a local level that doesn't need to be the responsibility of the federal government. And to be quite honest with you, with all the dysfunction and gridlock with the federal government, I think more and more people are relying on a local level to get policy passed that they desperately need.
Oh my God. Jump scare. Why the fuck is she being so fucking kind? It's like, it's insane that she's being reasonable with him right now. Like, she should literally go for his throat, and she's not. And it's crazy after watching the Dennis Prager one that she's not doing that. And this is the second time that this has happened. Oh God. I don't want to watch any more of this goddamn fucker. Oh, hang on. Let me refresh. I added some things. Let's look at how to get a woman's attention. Jordan B. Peterson on how to get a woman's attention. Jojo Dobo for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
How do you acquire the interest of the female species?
Ah, what the fuck? Ugh. That was fucking creepy. What the fuck? Conservatives speak like human beings challenge. Impossible difficulty. Oh my God, that fucked with me. So clinical. I need to hear that again. Who is this?
How do you acquire the interest of the female species?
How do you acquire the interest of the female species?
How do you acquire the interest of the female species?
You mean personally? Sharp suits, man.
Ugh. His fucking drip is mid, I'll tell you. I'll be real with you. I'm not into pinstripe just personally, but even this one's just not that good. Hey, let's do a fit check for Jordan Peterson.
Sharp suit.
That suit coat is way too long. Yeah, it looks like he's dressed for his funeral. It looks like he just climbed out of his own casket.
Man.
Okay, now he's really upset because he just started thinking about women too much.
Well, you know, little hygiene is not such a bad thing.
Yeah, he's like, every time he takes pictures with his fans, he has to plug his nose.
As a start, decent haircut, you know, certain amount of cleanliness. That's a good thing.
Yeah, man, wash your balls. That's pretty easy.
That's rule 1 in the first book. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. That's a good thing to do.
Tell Ben Shapiro that.
You know, what do women look for? Depends on the wisdom of the woman, obviously. But, well, it does because, narcissists can fool naive women. That's why narcissists propagate, by the way. And we know this because narcissistic psychopaths, young women are more likely to fall for narcissistic psychopaths. And the reason for that is they can't tell them from competent men.
That's pretty hilarious victim blaming, saying that like it's women's fault because they're too naive, rather than, you're talking about a narcissistic psychopath. So there's probably a reasonable assumption of some manipulation involved, but that's fine, it's fine to say that like women should know better.
Because narcissistic psychopaths imitate competence, and that's their niche. And so they have a confidence that isn't justified by their ability. But the women check out the confidence as a marker of ability, and the falsely confident can fool them, especially if they're young and naive. And so...
Did he not just say the same thing 3 times in a row?
Out the confidence that isn't, and that's their niche. And so they have a confidence that isn't justified by their ability. But the women...
So, hang on, I need to go back even more.
Psychopaths imitate competence.
They imitate competence.
And that's their niche. And so they have a confidence that isn't justified by their ability.
They imitate competence. They have confidence that isn't justified by their ability, which is a synonym for the same thing. They don't have competence.
But the women check out the confidence as a marker of ability, and the falsely confident can fool them.
Dude, it's crazy. It's like listening to someone on loop. Like, yeah, they imitate competence. What that means is that they pretend to have confidence when they don't actually have it. And women are so naive that they just believe it. Like, you already said that.
Especially if they're young and naive. And so...
Yeah, okay, I get it, man. You already talked about young, naive women.
Well, so let's say you're not going to be a narcissistic psychopath, which is often what those, like, manosphere dating sites teach you. Is like...
That's really ironic.
Wear an expensive watch and peacock a bit. And to peacock is to wear something, some item of clothing that's, a little bit out of the ordinary, something a little bit more colorful than might be generally the case. So
Shut
that you look
up.
like you're confident enough to pull that off with panache. But mostly it's just training in a kind of deceptive narcissism. Now, a wall...
Where is he? Why is he always talking in this fucking void? God, he looks so fucked up in this thumbnail. You might be able to revoke his psychology license. Did they? That's hilarious. But you'll never be able to revoke his rizology license. Oh my god, dude. Watching Jordan Peterson lectures feels like a stand-up sometimes. Maybe Dave Chappelle. That's how far he's fallen.
Wallflower guy might benefit from some training in narcissistic psychopathy, just to sort of balance them out a bit. So you can make some progress forward. That's why people like Andrew Tate are so popular. And I'm not saying that in an entirely dismissive manner, but there's a huge danger there. But
he's like, there's value to Andrew Tate. Don't get me wrong.
What women want is something like confident, productive generosity, fundamentally.
Just be nice. Just be nice. Like, shut up. Why are we talking for 8 minutes on how to get a woman's attention? Just be nice, maybe. How's that? Be nice, wash your balls.
And so, if that's allied with physical attractiveness and a sense of humor and, the sorts of features that a man would also look for in a woman, so much the better. But your basic bet, and my suspicions are the guy who answered this question is probably young. First of all, no one likes young men, so if women don't like you, it's like, well, that's par for the course. Who likes young men? No one. Why? Well, they're basically troublesome and useless, and so that's why. So cross-culturally, women like men who are about 4 years older than them, and the reason for that is you know, women are more vulnerable on the sexual front, and they have to make themselves even more vulnerable if they have children, especially when the children are infants. And so they're looking for guys who are...
Thank you for the gifted sub, Jammerlia. That's just like, yeah, no one has ever liked a young man. It's just like, he just doesn't have any sense of reality. Like, he just isn't, he's just so out of touch.
Competent enough to be able to take care of themselves, at least, and then have enough left over for a wife and a dependent child.
I think that is the allure of Jordan Peterson for sure, right? It's like deciphering what he's trying to say, because he does use a lot of flowery language that makes people feel good, but deciphering what he's trying to say is like a puzzle. And what he's saying is that, like, no one likes young men, which feels contradictory to everything else he's saying, and that's just like baffling. But actually, like, getting down to the point of what he's saying, which is why so many of his fans just say, like, no, dude, this is out of context. My wife is 10 years older than me. Yeah, there's plenty of people with like 8-10 years age gaps. Like, my partner's 3 years older than me. Like, but it doesn't matter. But like, deciphering what he's actually trying to say is like a little game, and people get addicted to it. Like, his fans get addicted to the way he talks, and it's like so satisfying to feel like you understand someone who presents very intelligently. So you're like, oh no, I understand someone who's smart, when he's not smart.
And not because the wife wants to be taken care of, because it isn't exactly like women want to be taken care of. It's more a reciprocal relationship. But if a woman has a dependent child, then both of them have to be taken care of, especially when the child's an infant. And so women tilt the scales toward...
So he's talking about like a single mom that you're trying to like win, like be attractive to. That's so specific right now.
Assessment of men on the grounds of their competent generosity. And the reason, and you know, men might be annoyed about that, but I would say, well, if you were a woman, you'd do the same thing. And you know how I know that? It's because women are female humans. And so if you were...
Throw a little bit of culture war in there.
a woman, you'd be just like a woman. So, because that's what a woman is. Right?
That's oh boy, that's just biological essentialism, which is like the basis for eugenics, by the way. Is like, it's like the same reasoning. A woman acts like a woman. I understand women because I read the women book.
So, you can't blame women. It's like, clue in there, buddy. If all women don't like you...
That's pretty funny. He's like, you can't blame women. You can't be mad at them for things. They're just doing their womanly things that women do.
It's you. And that's, you know, that's so annoying.
And like, yeah, he's right about that part, which, you know, he's talking to the majority of his own fan base there. But he's also like, I don't know. It's just so sad. Yeah, he does have a Tommy Wiseau laugh.
It's especially if you're young, because most women aren't going to like you, and it is you. So you have to grow up. But then, you know, you got to understand that if you make yourself competent and productive and generous and a little bit socially skilled and reasonably clean, eventually, you know, you'll fool someone, and then...
God, it's just boomer I hate my wife humor. It's crazy how people like this.
And then, you know, might take a few years, but generally it happens. So that's the thing, is don't be a fool. Turn yourself into someone who's worth being around, and then develop enough social skills so you advertise yourself genuinely. Because, you know, it's not also useful if you're a man to be competent, productive, and generous.
Interesting he doesn't have a wife. This is just weird rhetoric from a man who's completely bitchless.
And then so timid and socially unskilled that no one can tell. That's also not helpful. Engineers do that all the time. So,
dude, all these fucking Peterson nerds love talking about engineering. This dude does not know anything about engineering. He barely knows anything about psychology, and he has a doctorate in it.
My friend Jim, he's my brother-in-law, he's a great engineer. He said, engineers are the only men who never figured out how to turn social status.
He has a wife, though? Does he still? I thought she died or something. Jordan Peterson wife. He's not wearing a wedding ring. Oh, that's his wife. Oh, that makes so much sense. Ah! That's so scary. Oh. Oh my God. What the fuck is this picture? Oh my God. Why is she in a gamer chair? What are these? These are the weirdest pictures of a human being I've ever seen. Every picture of her, she just looks so fucked up. That's not her. She looks like she got time traveled from the 1800s. True.
This into mating opportunities. That's such a funny line. It's also
She doesn't think he's very funny.
so true.
They do look like American Gothic.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a story about him too. I was with him and
I'm over this. I'm over this. I'm over this. I'm over this. If you want women, if you want someone to be attracted to you, just wash your balls. That's all it takes. Wash your balls and listen to them. That's literally all it takes. It's not hard. It's really not. We'll get to the 4 dark personality traits later. Unpasteurized milk, thank you for the tier 1. Let's do Constitution 101, Lecture 1. Oh boy. Let's hear about the Constitution from a fake institution made by right-wingers.
We, the people of the United States.
Propaganda, 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 propaganda. Take a propaganda at these nuts. I'm soy facing. We're going back to high school history. Right wing. The theory of the Declaration and the Constitution.
Welcome to this Hillsdale College online course called Constitution 101. By Constitution, we of course mean the greatest and longest living of all the countries.
Ah, that was good. That was a good stick bug.
Ethan stream.
That was good. Thanks, Peach Dryad, for the 3 months.
In history of the Constitution of the United States. We study that here because we're mindful of the fact, and always have been at Hillsdale, that we are citizens and we need our freedom in order to live well and do our work, especially the work of a college, which radically depends upon freedom of every kind.
That's crazy.
We teach the Constitution to every student here at the college.
It looks like there's a fire just off frame. Like, I know there's a fireplace, but it doesn't look like the fire's in the fireplace. It looks like it's on the ground.
Now we're going to help you learn something about it. The other people who are teaching in this are members of our politics faculty. I'm a member of that faculty myself.
Why are we being lectured by a homunculus flesh puppet in this video? I mean, listen, just because one of the Koch brothers has taken this man as his current host doesn't mean he doesn't have important things to say.
And among them all, they may have the most knowledge of the meaning of the Constitution and the significance of the changes that have gone on around it. And so it should be a privilege for you to watch this, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you
Oh, I'm ready.
Read and continue learning about this for as long as you live. And teach others, too. So much, I'll explain, depends on that. There are a lot of details in this course. Details of...
I like how he has the old book open to, like, the second page, and then he's got just a fucking iPad next to it.
How exactly things work.
Like, are we doing the 1700s, like, candlelit fucking cottage, or do we have an iPad? Like, he looks like Buzz Lightyear face apt to be old, and like a fucking, like a conservative senator.
work and why they work, details of different understandings than the one that prevails here about those things. And
He's fruity too.
so that will involve us in some complications, and it'll be helpful, I think, if we can keep the kind of general points in mind that I'm going to name.
Thanks, Rice, for gifting Lex a little gifted sub. It's so small.
Some of those today in my lecture. My first question I'll ask myself and you is, what kind of thing are the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution? Turns out the answer to that is very enriching.
Somebody come get the autistic special interest in history grandpa. Who even are we looking at? I don't know. Some fucking flesh puppet that the fucking oil lobbyist has taken over for the day.
They're different documents. There's an argument that they're opposed. There's a powerful argument in the historical scholarship that the Declaration was meant to be a radical document and the Constitution was meant to be conservative. And those people argue that the Declaration is about the rights of us all, and the Constitution is really about protecting the privileged. Well, we think that's nonsense around here, and even on its face, it's nonsense. For one
Okay, only rich, wealthy white men could vote. What do you say about that?
reason, at the time, exact time, the Declaration...
Like, he's saying the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were not made to protect the privilege, which is just objectively not true.
Independence is from 1776 and the Constitution is from 1787, so they're close together. But never mind, there were all kinds of state constitutions written at the same time as the Declaration of Independence. Some of them signed by people who also signed the Declaration of Independence.
I mean, it's basically like they lied. The founding fathers essentially lied to a lot of the states, saying, no, guys, you will basically be your own independent country. We'll just be a United States, United Countries, like the EU. And then the Whiskey Rebellion happened, and George Washington said, oh, you guys don't want to pay taxes? I'm going to kill you. And then, kind of put everyone in line after that.
And they're all like the Constitution of the United States.
That's why America, it's like a fundamental problem with America, right? Is that like there's this like attitude and this like fake pretend like, oh, I live in Massachusetts and it's a commonwealth, so technically it's like an independent, like that was how it was started, and nothing ever changed. We never like actually united these fucking like islands of their own that had their own rules. We just kill them if they don't pay taxes. That's the only thing that we do. And it's a dissonant like fracture. It's the reason America doesn't function as like a regular country. It's like a huge problem. I'm sure I've seen a different academic lecture on the Constitution saying just that. They built a state to preserve the power of aristocracy. That it's not a radical opinion. It's not. Yeah, I mean, wealthy white men were the aristocracy of America. I mean, you think about like when politicians when Ted Cruz talks to his constituency, right? When Ted Cruz talks to his lobbyists from AT&T and from fucking the railroads and the oil lobbyists, from the media. I was trying to think of more specific examples, but when Ted Cruz meets with those billionaires who pay him to legislate the way he does, the gun manufacturers, they are wealthy, white, like land owning or corporation owning men. Still, that has never changed. They are the ones with the real vote. Which is why, like, so much more importantly than anything else is your class position. The reason they're white is because of white supremacy, because this country was founded on white supremacy. But the reason they're wealthy is because, more than anything, this country, like, thrives on class conflict. And ever since the 80s, we've had no class consciousness. The only the only point in history where things started to turn around was Teddy Roosevelt and trust busting, then Taft with more trust busting. And then after that, FDR tried to actually like make this country into a real country, like a, you know, like a country that provides for its people. And ever since, like literally since the New Deal, conservatives have tried to rip it apart. I mean, Social Security is always at threat now. That's crazy. And this man is just a few years away from receiving Social Security payments. But it doesn't matter because he has a tenure, I'm sure. And he has a retirement plan from whatever fake college this is. A normal country, FDR. And FDR was still racist. FDR still upheld white supremacy, still upheld segregation and Jim Crow laws. But FDR, at the very least, thought that fucking the people, the white people, deserved dignified lives, and every leftist since then just thinks the same, but wants to expand it to everyone and wants to actually help people who are disadvantaged. Because when you're disadvantaged from your class position, it's likely the result of something else, right? Like, people who, like, poor black people aren't poor because they're black. They're like, or I'm sorry, they're not black because they're poor because they're black, right? Like, it has to do with the, like, societal expectations of the material, like, that create the material conditions. Like, society is doing that. Because of redlining, because of chattel slavery and generational trauma. I phrased that very poorly, but you know what I mean. It's frustrating. America is amazing when it comes to traumatizing kids. I mean, yeah, that's just a whole separate issue. I don't know. America, like, boils you down to your, like, bare identity. And, like, I think everything other than class position is so much less important. Because your class position is, like, how you are viewed in society. It's, like, where you fit. Old white racists just want more laws for old white racists. I mean, sure. Capital owners have always been at the top of America. They use race as a wedge to divide efforts across class solidarity. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Being non-white in America is already a disadvantage. Is already going to put you at a disadvantage. And that's like going to dictate your class position. Which is why so many white people are out of touch and don't understand these things. And that is also like the bare essence of intersectionality, right? Intersectionality has everything to do with your class position and how it relates to your race and your sexuality and your gender. How those things overlap and intersect and affect one another. But I still think more important than anything else is fucking class position. Because everything about your identity dictates that position.
In their structure, which I'm going to talk about some. That's important. So another thing about it is that strikes me as particularly...
Yeah, white people never have to change their name to sound less white to get a job interview. White people never have to change their hairstyle unless they are adopting a black hairstyle like dreadlocks to get a job interview. Black and or queer people making up a huge chunk of the homeless population is not a coincidence. Yes, exactly. Especially like black trans women.
Silly. I've written a book about this. Is if you read the Declaration of Independence, you will find that it comes in 3 parts. And in the first part, it states some universal principles, very beautiful.
Like, the thing I hate the most about the Declaration of Independence is it's like fan fiction. Nothing in the Declaration of Independence means anything. There is no law in the Declaration of Independence. It was just a letter. It's just like, hey, we don't want to be Britain anymore. That's all it is. It does come in 3 parts, just like your mama. We're just taught money is printed, but you can't print more or else the value go down. Yeah, which is just not how it works. It was literally designed to be updated and changed. No, that's the Constitution. I'm talking about the Declaration of Independence.
And in the second part, it contains a bill of particulars in 17 paragraphs about
a bill of particulars.
Bad stuff the King of England did. Which bad stuff justifies the making of America, throwing off the old government and adopting a new one. And those things are remarkably like the Constitution of the United States. What did the king do wrong? Well, he interfered with the legislature, which is a violation of the first step in all government, the making of laws, but also a violation of separation of powers, which is crucial to how the Constitution of the United States worked. So separation of powers is important. And then he interfered with the people's ability to elect legislators. In other words, representation, a key feature of the Constitution of the United States. And then he interfered with the judges. He would ship people.
I can't hear more about the King of England. This dude, I thought it was gonna move on. I thought it was gonna be like fucking National Geographic History Channel type shit. I didn't realize he was just gonna be fucking. What's the most replayed section?
If angels were to govern men, neither internal nor external controls on the government would be needed.
Huh?
See what that means?
No.
He's locating us in the hierarchy of nature. Down at the bottom are the beast or the rocks. And up at the top are angels and God. And if angels were being governed, although there's a record in the Bible that their behavior is not perfect, still it's true that as a common run, it's probably a lot better than ours. And they don't, they're imagined as disembodied intellects, and so they don't have all the needs and pressures we have. And the beast, they just always obey instinct. Whereas
they need to make this mandatory in U.S. schools to learn the U.S. Constitution.
And that is actually the reason why we need law.
If this were still taught in public schools, I feel the world would be a better place to live.
Are people too. How do we know they won't make them in their own interest?
Also, the Constitution is taught in every state. What the fuck do you mean? All right, guys, I'm putting on sensory videos for babies. All right, these suck. Where's the car running it over? You guys, I need you to send me. I need you guys to send me videos. Oh, Squid Game. You see that? Send me videos to react to. I can't do this. Ew.
Oh my god.
What? That's a terrible one, dude. Alright, that was pretty good, actually. More like Squish Game. What is this? We can add Jeffree Star hating non-binary people to his ever-growing list of bigotry. I thought he's already said this. Making America great one pizza time.
Here we go.
Ah, he's so awesome.
All right, guys. How's it going? I'm live. All right. Get this thing all set up.
He's got the Joe Exotic one on.
Hey, guys, doing? How's it going?
No, we don't need to do this. Alright, man. I'm at real things to make videos about. God damn it. Guys. I've seen this already. These links are fire. No, they're not. Rats are ticklish. I'm not clicking a Google link. I'm not watching something with 600 views. That's crazy.
Bro, your car is so complicated. Like, what does this even do?
All right, that's pretty good. I do like that actually. Guys, I need help. Stop, not baby sensory videos. Guys. Oh, I like the donkey video a lot. This video is good. Stop sending me this. Ugh, Michael Knowles. Alright, maybe we'll watch that. Damn it! I can't watch an FD Signifier video that's an hour and a half long. I do like FD Signifier though. Whoa. Okay, this looks cool.
Hey guys, today
God damn it!
A portion of this video is...
No. That's pretty good.
Okay, buddy,
I've seen all these before. Alright. I think this is eventually going to be a longer thing.
Comedy is the hallmark of a free society.
No way.
Wokeness basically wants to make comedy illegal.
Listen,
No.
any offensive comedian, we're just trying
Is this... Why is this in... It's like in the worst resolution I've ever seen.
to make people laugh. There's a fear of getting canceled. Nobody can speak their mind.
Adam Carolla.
oh wow! The one thing that people currently in power can't stand is being made fun of.
And so then you have to play by their rules.
You're not going to be able to say certain things on YouTube. You're not going to be able to say certain things on iTunes.
Is that
You can't say the N-word anymore. It's fucking bullshit.
comedy?
Boy, what a disaster this is right now.
It is now.
I'm not giving a TED talk. My job is to be
Is it comedy if we can't say the N-word? Come on.
funny on stage.
Comedy is supposed to show where the
Oh my
establishment
god, dude. Come on.
narrative is wrong.
And then one girl goes, "We think you're not entitled to be making some of the jokes you're making."
This is the current state of comedy.
Tucker Carlson Originals, The Death of Comedy, streaming now on Fox Nation. Sign up at foxnation.com.
They want to follow in Kramer's footsteps and big media is silencing them. Fox Nation, is that their streaming service? Are you a military veteran or first responder? Unlock your first year free. Oh my god, it's $70 a year. Verify my military status? I'm a veteran. I am a Navy veteran. Wait, what is this? Oh, 16. Let's verify my military status. Oh, I have to upload a document. Does anyone have that? There we go. Hang on, I need that picture of I need that picture of the pig that like shit on itself with the giant testicles. Yeah. That's all. I'm gonna put that as my military. I can't show that on stream, but I'm gonna put that as my military credentials. Around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world. Cool. I'm hoping it'll just give me access. No matter what I put. You know? So we need some more info. So, I mean, I'll just briefly show you. This is the picture of the pig shitting on its own balls. To verify my veteran status. Turnaround time for your language is typically a few minutes, and in rare times of high volume may take up to 20 minutes. All right, so I'm just waiting on the verify status. Roseanne Barr, cancel this. Oh my God. Shows, documentaries, and movies that celebrate America. Oh, they couldn't open it. Hang on. Hang on, sorry. I just got an email saying it was the wrong kind of fuck, I'll try this later. I definitely want to I think I'm going to make a video about Fox Nation. This sounds great. Ah! I have to pee. Hang on. Watch this. What's up? Are they good sensory videos? Wait, there was a cop one? Where was it? Did I miss it? No, they're terrible. This one sucks. Ew. I like this one. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. That's good, actually. Let me see. Is your TTS broken? It might be. Crush. Die. I need a good screenshot of that. Go to the beginning, they pop the tire? No way, really? Wait, with the needles? No, it's not needles. Yeah, no shit, you fucking dumbasses. That's crazy. They just fucking... They put needles in the tire. That didn't pop it, so they're like, look, dude, and you're gonna get needles everywhere. Someone's gonna get hurt. That's so irresponsible. It's like breaking the needles and sending them everywhere. Yes, fuck off, asshole. The mic is very close on the needle one. Dude, a calculator? Bro, this sucks. This fucking sucks, man. The more Disney loses, the happier I become. I'm just so tired of culture war shit, man. Let's watch the causes of the Civil War music video. I, John Brown, am now quite certain that the crimes of this quality land will never be purged away but with blood.
After Jackson's election, people prided by their section. North had industry, wanted to bang. The South had continent slaves to bang. Tariff of abominations, abolition, frustrations. Differences were a lot, even decades before Dred Scott. These are the causes of the Civil War.
I love Weezer.
Causes of the Civil War.
This is awesome.
Presidents like Tippecanoe, Van Buren and Tyler too. Fillmore Pierce were nothing big. Zachary Taylor was a Whig.
Who?
Polk showed a bit more might. 54-40 fight. But things got out of hand. With all that Mexican land, these are the causes of the Civil War. Causes of the Civil War.
This is pretty good, actually.
So we signed a war treaty, manifest destiny. Let's compromise, you and me. Should these states be slave or free?
I love the mountain goats.
Compromise of 1820, compromise of 1850. But even Henry Clay, he couldn't save the day. These are the causes of the Civil War.
This is great. It's actually like pretty good because it doesn't just say like it like pretty accurately talks about it. That's great.
Hey guys, today I have this 1993 Honda Accord. This is the CB7 Accord, and I don't really have a tour of one. And what better one to get than one that's been on the YouTube channel 3 times. This is actually Jakeman 21642's car, and I'm in Richmond, Virginia having a blast, and we just...
It's Jakeman 21462's car.
Decided to do videos of each other's cars, so this is going to be good now. For those of you that know, this is an EX. It is the rosewood brown exterior. It does have the factory red Honda pinstripe down the side. Looks really nice on this color. And the burgundy cloth interior. This one does have really new Goodyear RSA, Goodyear Eagle RSA
What
tires.
is this?
They are 195/60 R15, so 15-inch.
Thank you, USA.
Oh, I do know this song.
You are my best friend. You are the peacekeeper. You are the legend. Thank you, USA. You are my best friend. You are the peacekeeper. You are the legend.
Fuck yeah. Provide us context. It's just about the USA.
USA, stopping genocide, helping small Kosovo, stopping their own fight. In 1999, helping in Kosovo, two men shaking hands, Clinton and Rugova.
Kosovo is Kosovo was there was like some fucking military conflict that was happening there, and Bill Clinton put a stop to it, and the people of Kosovo weirdly have like a huge affinity for Bill Clinton. There's a statue of him there. And a lot of people in Kosovo are named after Bill Clinton. It's very weird. They just like love him for stopping the war. It's like if Joe Biden prevented the war in Ukraine and they built a big Joe Biden statue. Wouldn't that be so funny?
Oh my God, he admitted.
This is pre-Bush, right? So it's like people didn't necessarily like hate America yet for imperialism because it wasn't really happening to anywhere other than Afghanistan, right? And Iraq already. 40% of cops seem to it's a copy pasta. Oh my god. The fucking emojis. That's awful.
Thank you, USA. You are my best friend.
What is this? I don't know what I'm looking at. I've already seen the Nut Your Banana Milk review. I've seen it. Oh god. Why? Ew, this sucks, man. This sucks.
We'll exercise judgment right now.
Because we have.
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. I got scared.
Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you, COVID-19.
Oh, Ramash.
I execute judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer. You get out, we break your power, you get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately.
Yes.
Do you think he's like he's skeptical of the vaccine? What's Kenneth Copeland doing now? Oh, he's still up and at him, isn't he? Wait. This is Kenneth Copeland Ministries. It doesn't mean he's there, though. Oh, yeah, there he is. Live long and strong. Looks like Papa John. Yeah. That's great.
Let's go to the 145th Psalm.
Christ.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm really getting close to.
Is this a re-upload? It says 2022. Maybe it's the end of 2022 or something. The comments are turned off.
I want to read that out of this classic amplified. Psalm 145. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Psalm 145. I will extol you, my God, O King.
These old people
I
are
will
leaving.
bless your name forever and ever with
Quit walking away. You're walking away from the Lord.
grateful, affectionate
Come back.
praise. Every day,
Praise God.
with its new reasons, will I bless you affectionately and gratefully praise you. Yes, I will praise your name forever and ever. Great is the... Wasn't that what it said? He took our infirmities and bore our sicknesses.
God, he's not looking good. He's just not looking good.
So don't come up here and want me to pray for your arthritis. That's right. It isn't yours. That's right. Don't claim it.
Yeah, don't make me deal with that. All right. Oops. I can appreciate the. I do like the BART train fan cam as well. I can appreciate a good fan cam from Banana Milk.
You are the peacekeeper. You
are the legend.
Thank you, USA. You are my best friend. You are the peacekeeper. You are the legend. This work that we do, the way we thank you, this song that we sing, memories will bring. In so many countries, you are keeping peace. You are the lifesaver. You are pain release. Thank you, USA.
There it is.
You are my best
Big Bill.
friend. You are the peacekeeper.
Wow, they printed out a big bill.
Thank you, USA. You are my best friend.
True story. This is actually what George W. Bush was listening to on 9/11, and that's when he said God told me to invade Iraq and Afghanistan was because of this song. So just thinking about that, you know. All right, what are we doing now? Thank you, USA. You are my best friend. They popped the tire again. Got fucking needle shards everywhere.
First day is a second century warlord. I have mom and dad brains just to their horses' tails to stir up dust and make it look like there's a lot of us, but I forget it just rains, so there isn't any dust, and the enemy can't clearly see there's like 20 of us all spread out in a line. Second day is a second century warlord. I bribe a bunch of kids to start singing in the nursery rhyme. I carefully crafted to spread misinformation and further my strategic ends, but they changed the lyrics to be about pooping. The enemy isn't misdirected at all. Third day is a second century warlord. I know my enemy into a narrow valley and sent a team of archers to shoot them from the high ground, but there was a pharaoh hug napping on the trail up to the overlook, and they couldn't decide whether to try and shoot it or just go around. And by the time the hawk woke up and left on its own, the enemy had already passed safely below. Fourth day is a second.
This does not need to go on for almost 6 minutes. I don't need to see fucking. Alright, I don't need more of this sound. This one kind of really good.
Ding dong, the wicked.
I am not watching Wilbur Suit on stream. Thank you though.
Queef jerky in the house.
Alright.
You know who it is.
Oh, Bev and Bob.
Will you give it to me?
It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing in me.
Will you give it to me?
Look at my own reflection when suddenly it changes.
Violently it changes. Oh no!
There's no turning back now. You've woken the demon in me. Get up, come on down with the sickness.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
Get up and come down with the sickness.
Open up your hate and let it flow into me.
All right. So that actually reminded me that I need to finish writing this fucking video today. So we're gonna work on that now for the rest of the stream. Listen. So I'm doing a video about vaccine reactions, and I'm exploring Facebook on these certain accounts that were posting posting how much they're shaking from the vaccine. And I gotta tell you, this shit's weird.
I just had a horrible full body convulsion. As you can see.
Did you see the guy who claimed to be Hitler's reincarnation? Yes, I did. It's weird.
My legs are still shaking. My neighbor actually had to come and lay on top of me. It started out just my hands, and they were shaking pretty uncontrollably. I wound up calling her, and she ran over and came through the garage. And
Not how seizures are treated, by the way. Do not touch someone having a seizure. Like, you could hurt them or hurt yourself. Yes, that is her dog.
I wound up taking a whole Klonopin because it was so bad. She laid on top of me.
Klonopin, huh? I'm not spelling that right at all. Used to prevent seizures, panic disorder, and anxiety disorders. It's a benzodiazepine. Oh my god. This lady's faking this shit for benzos.
I would think it lasted about 3.
No wonder she sounds so fucked up all the time.
4 minutes at the most. By the time it was over, my robe was completely drenched with sweat.
Yeah, probably from the fucking benzos. I need to add that. So I have a section in the video called what's actually happening. I need to add benzos to that list. Because I think this is just like it's such a nuanced conversation. There's so many elements to vaccine reactions that there's so many elements to these fake vaccine reactions. It's super interesting. There's a lot to analyze. Part of it for sure could be the fear of itself causing a psychosomatic reaction. If I'm being my most charitable, it's anxiety and mania and like general mental illness, right? Like we're witnessing like an actual mental breakdown from someone who does not have the mental or emotional capacity to understand that their life is like a disaster. And that's the nicest I can be, and I genuinely don't think that's the case. Yeah, Angelia Dissel. So I'm doing this chronologically. I love this one. This is what made me want to make the video. This is the video everyone saw, right? 73 million views. This is her son's Facebook account, and he started posting these for his mom in 2021, and then she started posting them, and I have her account ready too. There's so many of these, dude.
My phone. I can hold it.
She even said, my phone, I can't hold it. But you're holding your phone right now, and you're holding it pretty steady. Why do her ankles never move?
So it just started out with my hands. this morning. And now, as you can see, it's moving all over.
See,
my
now she's
body.
moving her hands.
I can't even keep my phone.
Maybe this is happening to you. No, it's not happening to her. She's faking it. 100%. Look at this, dude.
It's the craziest thing. You see how my shoulders just jumping up and down?
Yes, she's saying the vaccine did this. This is not real.
It's just
It's frustrating because as a leftist, our ideology is rooted in empathy, and we want to help people. This woman does not need any help other than a psychiatrist, and she refused to talk to a psychiatrist because she's convinced that there's something actually wrong with her. She and all the other women.
I'm not doing that. It's just doing it on its own.
I mean, come on. Dude, there's so much. There's so much. There's so many of these videos. Every single one is funny. Yeah, vaccine-induced dancing. See, this time she put her phone kind of in the corner, even though she's still holding it. She still had to press record. Slap it. Like, if this was real, of course it wouldn't be funny to laugh at, but it's not real, so it is. Dude, there's so fucking many.
That's how we seem to be today.
So this is April of 2021, and this is
A
also
really
around the
good
time...
week.
Stop. This is also around the time she starts posting them herself. This one was great, dude.
So I've noticed when it's not.
Yeah, dude, watch this.
Watch this.
Oh, the vaccine's making me laugh at this so much. Now watch this. Puts her knees up. Like she knew it was gonna happen.
Watch this. It's crazy, huh? Just from sticking them out like this, you can see it's got my whole body shaking.
I do feel bad for her family because she's doing this to them. Also, she could still do her... She could still get her hair done. Still do her makeup. Still paint her nails and toenails. It's fucking interesting, right?
I'm not even trying to prove that because I mean, it doesn't matter to me, right? It's kind of like, I mean, it matters to me. Yeah. I'm not trying to get anything. I just want to help people. That's it. Right?
You have definitely helped me. In an hour?
That's what I said, right? Hour?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
I'm not even trying.
Why would you post this? What are you saying about it? Like,
because I don't.
it just doesn't say anything. My mom is still like she looked fine. My mom has started a good GoFundMe to help with all the people, to help all of the people with medical bills. Oh my god. My mom has started a GoFundMe to help all of the people with medical bills from this horrible vaccine. She posted a video on the link. Give it a listen and share this post, please. We have to come together and help these people and do what we can to stop this nonsense. Didn't drop the link anyway. GoFundMe.
As many of you know, I had a horrible adverse reaction to a vaccine on January the 5th. Since then, it has literally been a nightmare. Ever since all of my videos went viral, not only in the United States, but other countries as well, I have had hundreds of people reach out to me, and I've been praying, and God has led me to start this GoFundMe page strictly for victims of vaccine and to help the families. I've had people reach out to me that have lost their jobs
I need to find her
because they can't
account.
work.
I need to find her Facebook account. Like, you really don't think this is anxiety induced, really? Also, it's very convenient that it's always like, you can do this at home. You can do this right now. Just like tense your thighs over and over again. All right. I hate the Facebook player. It's insane how bad it is.
As y'all can see, I'm having a pretty difficult morning. It started off in my hands.
He needs
this morning,
Jesus.
And now it's pretty much all over my body.
Look how stable the phone is.
Don't know how much longer this is gonna last. I just gotta keep smiling because I just don't know.
Only the part that is on camera is the part that's shaking. God, see, now she's curling her toes. She wasn't before.
I woke up this morning with my hands shaking, and it's now moved to my legs. So,
Yeah, her husband's got her hooked up to the remote control vibrator. SeaWorld's Orca Killer Whale Show. I mean, this is one of the best ones. He's like shaking her around. Maybe that's her shaking, but still. You don't understand she got the special vaccine where it makes everything but one of her arms shake. True. This is still happening. Has no sound. Like, this isn't a real thing where, like, sometimes you're shaking. It's not a seizure because it's not the entire, like, muscle group. Six Flags Fiesta, Texas with the family. Yeah, this is the one that went viral, right? Got doing the stanky leg. And you'll notice they constantly say shit like, oh, I went to every doctor and they just didn't know what was going on. And it's like, yeah, there's a reason for that, motherfucker. And like ever since then, she's been like, ever since her shit popped off, she's got like all her fucking hair done and shit. It's like a little suspicious to me. I mean, look at her fucking Facebook profile picture. Or Facebook, Twitter. Looks nothing like her. That's hilarious. And like, look at all this shit. She's going to conventions. She's talking to people. She's on the news. People are posting about her. I mean, look at this. Like, this makes her feel like a real person. And then there's this lady too. This is a different woman, by the way, who also is just dancing around. Look at all these poor victims of vaccines. Look, this is I need you to understand, this is a different woman that also is a white middle-class woman with cheetah print pants shaking her legs. Different woman.
It's as if I sit straight up.
They all got the grippers out, man. Oh, and I need to see this. They did a Twitter space. Let's listen to it while we look for Angelia DeSelle's account.
So everyone, right? I got it right here.
We will not comply with the institution's sick illusion.
No way.
Be televised. Welcome to the revolution. We will not comply.
There's only 2 people in here right now. Oh, come on. Seriously? The fourth person to tune in's name is Karen? She's just playing it through her phone. Susan just stepped down from YouTube. Yeah, that happened earlier today, or yesterday even. Doesn't matter. It's all going to be the same. YouTube in Silicon Valley in general is just a bed of incest and nepotism. Everyone running YouTube is going to do the exact same thing as the previous person because the new person worked directly under Susan Wojcicki for like 15 years. There's nothing is going to change.
Again, this is Silence. So glad that you are here. I'm just got a few little housekeeping things to do. Karen, can I just turn it over to you for 1 second?
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be having the vaccine injury share their stories. We certainly welcome any deniers. And if you're a hater, well,
I wish I could have seen this live. That would have been so good. That would have been so great.
Please be gentle as you come up, and we will bop you back to the audience if
Again, there's 5 people in here.
you're rude.
Or
Gloria,
maybe these are just the speakers. I guess I can't tell how many people were in here.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, ladies. Thanks so much, Silence, for holding this room. I've been quite distraught about some of the stuff I've been seeing coming
Canadian, red flag.
out on Twitter. Angelia, my heart goes out to you. I don't know how you stay strong when people say such hatred.
So this seems like it was on the 24th, which seems like a little bit after Angelia's first video went mega viral on Twitter, and the video kind of and the meme kind of happened. Why is there PFP the Apple Photos app? That's a great question. Wait, are they in a space right now?
And we're kind of in an upheaval in our family right now. So yeah, I mean, that's just talking about the mental health piece of this, and the fact that I think we do need more support for caregivers and how to navigate, how to manage through this, and what can you do? So just sharing my thoughts with you. I don't know if anybody has any experience with this themselves, but yeah, it's been very difficult.
First of all, Kelly, I am so sorry that happened to you.
Thank you. And
I know.
it's I don't work, and I'm not
the foot emote,
pump myself up or anything, but I'm like a mid-senior level person at
I hate
the
that
job role that I have. So it's not like where you can turn around and within a week be employed somewhere else. This is a process that takes sometimes 8 to 12 weeks. So, and that's, being generous. So, I mean, we're facing a long road ahead of us and trying to figure out what to do.
Come on, dude.
I'm sure you are, but in the meantime, I think did Gary ever set up a Give Send Go?
Dude, they linked what worked for 27 people who recovered from vaccine injury and long COVID. Ivermectin is the second option.
They're very
and then here's
thankful.
hydroxychloroquine.
One of
oh
the
my
things
God.
when I lost my job, I mean, the first thing out of his mouth was, "I'll stop my treatments right now." And I'm like, "No, you will not." We
the
did
red
this
dots on the right show people who are
people
mostly or
donated
fully
specifically
recovered.
for his health care.
There's no
and I'm like,
correlation.
you being well is our top priority at this moment. And he's improving leaps and bounds right now. And I'm like,
what's the combo
we'll
about?
figure
This
it
is
out.
these
we'll
are
do
victims
whatever
of
we have
vaccine
to.
injury.
I mean,
They're doing
I'm
a Twitter
not going
space
to allow
right now.
him to take a step back from his treatment process, but
listen.
that's specifically what people donated that money for, and we are committed that that's what it will be used for. So
I want to see.
Well, you are
I want to
lucky
see
to
what I
have
can
each
do
other. So
to
it's
get
just
in. I just
wonderful
have to
that you're
listen so
both
I
here to
know
support each
what's the
other.
best thing to say.
And I'm grateful to know both of you now.
Likewise.
Yeah, so being a caregiver is really difficult, and we often forget about that self-care. I was a caregiver.
Absolutely.
Yep, yeah, I was a caregiver for my father, then my sister, and my mother. And I have no room to speak about forgetting about the self-care, like because
Well,
I
I'm
never.
really bad about that too. I'm an empath, and I'm the mother hen, and
She's an
I
empath.
always want to take care of everyone and fix everything. And some things I can't fix. But I always have to remind myself, like when you're on an airplane, they always tell you you have to put your own oxygen mask on first
Oh my God.
before you can assist someone else. So,
Wait,
it's an
listen.
important reminder that self-care is very important, as you said.
Non-fungible
It's easy to
therapist?
lose sight of that.
My
Yeah, yeah,
God.
and for me that was
Um,
my bike. I had talked about that earlier. That was where I went out and I had
how
my
do I request
freedom
the
and I got away
microphone?
from all my worries and I'd listen
I
to my
want to
music
speak.
and I would just ride for
Quit
as
silencing
far
me.
as I could. And then of course along came the vaccine injury, and that took care of that for a long time. Couldn't do that. So yeah, that part, it was very, very depressing for me. But that was another goal though, was to get back on my bike. So while it
You
was
need to
depressing,
follow
at the
them?
same time I set it as a goal, and helped me with my recovery.
I'll
So
follow all of them.
anyway, thank you so much for sharing, and
Yeah, thank you.
and Fran, Gloria, I don't know if
Let me try
one of you.
refreshing. Your mic will be off to start.
Sorry, I'm just chewing. Fran, are you there? I'm actually just, sorry. I'm going to pass it over to Fran.
I am here. I was just getting that article on Stephen Petty. I put it in the nest. If it's the right one, it's
to
from
talk to
Strong and
them.
Free Canada.
Let me in.
And I noticed you posted one as well, Silenced.
Oh yeah, I just posted in the chat, but I'm glad you put yours up in the nest. I didn't put one up in the nest, so thanks. But you want to go ahead and take over hosting for a while, Fran? I appreciate you being
I
here.
have to follow Fran.
Sure. I think we're up to Dawn. I don't think Dawn has spoken.
Can I
Welcome,
speak?
Dawn.
I
Are
have a
you there?
story to share.
I am here. I had connection problems earlier, and thank you for allowing me to speak. This is my little story, and I'll try and keep it short and tidy. I live in southeast New Mexico, United States, and my background is law enforcement. When this whole thing started 3 years ago, being an investigator, it stunk right from the very beginning. And I did my own research because nothing was adding up. The whole world can't be on the same page all at the same time over something like this, but that was what the media was trying to portray.
That's not that didn't
and
happen.
so I go to my own
Try to
doctor
message them
instead of turning on TV and listening to CNN and all this.
I don't want them to look at my account is the problem.
Fart in a jar and
this
send
is
it
when
to
the
me.
This is when the mask thing started. And I said, so what's the deal with the mask? He says, it's all going to be political.
Let me into the Twitter
He
space.
says, and they don't work. And him and I are having a conversation. And I said, well, I remember when I was in the 6th grade, I learned early that inhaling your own germs was not a good thing.
Oh my God.
So when the vaccines came out and they were trying to mandate it, I did the same thing. I went to my doctor. And I said, so what's the deal with the vaccines? And the first words out of his mouth was, it's not a vaccine. And I said, okay. I said, listen, I can't even pronounce.
Let me refresh it. Let me earn.
Shouldn't be going. I'm going, okay, that's all I needed.
I need to speak.
And
you
I
have mic
wasn't
access
bombarded
allowed?
by
Maybe not.
citizens where I live. Everybody was just doing their own thing because I live in pretty much a Republican area or conservative area. We do have a Democrat governor, and when she tried to implement what would be unconstitutional mandates, the There was only two people that could enforce that in the state of New Mexico, and that was the health department and the New Mexico State Police, whom the New Mexico State Police work directly under the governor. But then you have the sheriffs, and who trump everybody. And the sheriffs made it perfectly clear that we're not going to enforce unconstitutional mandates. We're not the masked police, and we're not going to go around and see if you're a jack.
Hang on, let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again.
Like I said,
it's still not letting
me. I had
me.
to piece together. I had to go. The crime scene was this COVID thing, so I had to go back to the crime scene, put it together.
This guy thinks he's like a noir detective investigating
I think
COVID.
we all know, listening to everybody inside here, it was all a propaganda. They basically, now again, this is my opinion, they basically rebranded the flu, is what they did.
Okay.
To scare you.
So
and
true,
I've
man.
lost six friends
Phone
who
only?
have died from the vaccine, although it wasn't the policy that they were all deputy sheriffs over the 3-year period. And it wasn't mandated, but they bought into the fear propaganda. And that was sad for me because I helped train. I think that they were trying to find out how they could put it. Here in the United States, the only way they could do it was with the Emergency Act.
Yeah, I'm gonna request to speak.
Anything like this, none of it was approved. It's an untested vaccine that's really not a vaccine. Forgive people who bought into what they thought that they had to do was right.
It says I can now speak.
Oh my God! He admitted.
What they felt that they had to do was right, because I believe that it should be an individual right, not being forced to do it. Honestly, I cannot tell you what I would have done. But
I'm in an anti-vax Twitter space.
the doctors who set aside their oaths for money, I don't forgive the governors who pushed this. I don't forgive even law enforcement who were enforcing unconstitutional mandates. I don't forgive the employers who kicked you out and fired you. Those are the people I don't forgive. I have a lot of compassion for people who are sick, who believe they were doing the right thing.
Are you or a loved one suffering from a medical coincidence?
We'll have to watch that in a second.
It isn't what it is. And that's really, really sad that they perpetrated this upon the world. And anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Everybody has a story. I'm just really lucky at the right time with the right doctor who was up front from the very beginning. And he's still.
I don't know what I'm gonna say yet.
He's not a corporate doctor.
He's not a corporate
And
doctor.
I think some of my friends is, well, you got to listen to the experts. And I say, which ones? The ones that were silenced, or the ones that went along with the narrative? I'm going to go with the guys who they try to silence, because I want to know why are they trying to silence them. That's what I
This
do
guy's
as
drunk.
an investigator. Why are they doing this? Why are they firing doctors? Why are they kicking out nurses? There's something going on here. But anyway, I think that we've all have learned a lot, and we've experienced a lot. And to stand up and say no is something that they have a hard time dealing with.
It's just.
We're not going along with their program.
What is there to say? Like, I'm not gonna get through to them. I don't want to fuck with them too much. I want them to think I'm one of them. Can you play the audio from the computer? No, I want to speak.
And they would just look at me, and I said, a mandate well, you still have to wear a mask. And says, I'm not wearing a mask. Well, we'll call the police. And I says, what are they going to do? There's no law. How can they? And I carry a retired law enforcement officer's badge, and I said, you go right ahead, because they got a badge that looks just like this. And they're going, oh. They're not. They don't expect someone who's got some knowledge and some background. And I understand that the guy at the door was probably making minimum wage, doing what his boss told him to do. I don't get down on him on that, but just to look in these people's faces when someone goes, no, and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, they filled me with gender fluid.
This is a great space. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, Don. I'll you one sec. So I am right with you in terms of the forgiveness. Those that perpetrated this, I'm not ready.
Dude was drunk.
Because I still believe we need justice, not just those of us harmed by the vaccine. Because again, I will continue to say we have all been harmed by their insane policies. So no, I'm not ready to forgive them until they tell me they were wrong. And then that process of forgiving can begin.
Wait, then they'll listen to scientists?
On individual levels, yes. I think that's
They all
important that
sound
we
drunk.
do that. I would forgive, like I said, my family who, my brothers and sisters who do not talk to me. They haven't called me. I reached out to them. They won't call back. But if they called me, I would pick up that phone just to start that, try to have that conversation. But anyway, thank you for speaking here. Fran, over to you, please. Or Gloria.
I just wanted to say to Dawn that I'm sorry you lost some friends.
Rand
You're right
is in
about
here.
all the mandates.
I have mutuals in here now.
And I love your response that, a request to put on a mask is really basically a pretty please. And standing up for what's right really is what we all needed to do more, like in general and more often, because really none of the mandates were law and it was all about fear. So appreciate your sharing, and we appreciate your coming and joining this space. I'd like to welcome Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Do you think they're gonna call on me? Oh, I gotta raise my hand.
Perhaps Lisa's not at her mic, so we'll come back to her.
I'm sorry, Gloria. Hi.
I raised my hand. I'm thinking.
Didn't realize I was.
It's-
Fran. Hi, sorry. I had my phone in my pocket and I didn't even know I was a speaker. But I just thank you for having this space, and I'm enjoying. I mean, I'm always sad.
I gotta make it up on the spot.
Everyone's stories, but
I have to be one of them.
there's a comfort in being here and listening to like-minded people. So thank you for holding this space.
Well, thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts. Always like to hear from you. So thank you so much. We will welcome Ethan. Ethan, are you there?
Hi, yeah, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. The problem is I tried to listen to the science that all these guys are saying, and I actually only got the vaccine a few months ago. And it turned into a huge problem for me. My kids asked me to do it, and it every day I wake up with convulsions from the legs down, and my doctor, every doctor I went to, they didn't listen. They didn't listen to what I had to say until I found Dr. Kembo, Have you guys heard of him?
I have not. Anybody else on stage?
I have.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. He actually took me seriously. I'm sure I've heard a lot of stories. Every other doctor, they just blow you off, right? They think you're crazy. They send you to mental health. But the drugs that Dr. Kembo gave me finally helped me calm down a little bit. But any little bit of stress gets me shaken up a storm.
May I ask? Yeah, I don't hear you right now.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was just waiting for comments. Oh, it seems like we got a troll in here.
Yep, sorry about that. I was trying to find out who it was.
I actually removed that person.
That's good. We don't want any of that kind of stuff.
Just laugh at them.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for
Well, they're the ones who don't understand us.
Ethan, I think you're having trouble with your speaker because we can hear you and then we can't hear you.
Oh, I think it's because am I cutting out or am I just not talking anymore?
We hear you and then it goes silent. And
Yeah, I think he's just not muting his. It's just that he stops talking instead of muting himself, so you don't see him go on mute. So I believe he was just waiting for a response from us.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking for some. I've been looking around for different communities. I just wanted to kind of hear some, almost like validation for what I've kind of undergone. I'm only 42, but, it worries me.
Ethan, where are you located, if I may ask? You don't have to tell me the town or whatever. Are you in the United States? What state? What part of the state? What area?
Oh yeah, I'm from Delaware.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from.
It would be hard to find a doctor in your area that would take you serious. I don't mean to laugh, and I apologize for that. But I think there is one in Maryland, but I am not. I'm obviously by my name and profile, I am also vaccine injured. But so I have not heard of the doctor that you mentioned. Is this in your area, or was it through telehealth, or and how did you find this doctor?
Yeah, I found him on Facebook. We've kind of done more or less telehealth. I don't know if you guys have heard of Kick, the texting chat.
No, I haven't heard of that either. Wow, you're just teaching us all kinds of new stuff tonight.
Yeah, it's just KIK. It's like my son told me about it. He's really into it. But it's almost like WhatsApp kind of. And we did a couple of video calls and he ended up prescribing, I don't know what it is, but it's a prescription. He is a real doctor, Dr. Kembo. But he ended up, what he gave me helps a lot with the convulsions. I take it 7 or 8 times a day.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that you've experienced these problems, and I was in a very similar position where I was begged by my children to get the jab.
Yeah.
And I can really relate. There was a lot of confrontation, a lot of, they just kept begging me, and actually the same with my husband. He was constantly bombarded with phone calls, and we just stood strong. I really feel for you. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that you found a doctor that can help you.
Now, and did your children get the vaccine?
Yes, they did.
See, my kids did too, and my son John Boy, he had a heart attack at 40.
How old was he?
He was 30.
And how is he doing now?
He died. He passed away because of the jab. Just 2 months after getting it.
I'm so sorry.
And I've heard
That's
so
awful.
few medical stories and so few news stories about the sudden death problem.
There is a man, Mark Crispin Miller, who writes about sudden death.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Is he on Twitter, on Facebook?
I believe he's on both. I believe he's on Twitter.
I'll have to look him up.
Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on, and I'd like to.
Oh, I think you cut out, but
I think Kevin is next.
that's
Welcome,
fantastic.
Kevin.
All right, I love you all.
Thank you, Ethan.
This is so bad.
I'll defer to Mooney for a sec. Then come back in a sec.
Okay, let's go to Ran.
That's my mutual.
Hi. I just want to talk about like my experience with this entire thing as I'm gonna kill myself. I'm so stop. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm with my family. So I am also a vaccine injured person, and I've had similar experiences. So I remember like it was like the day after I got vaccinated. I just had like the worst symptoms. Like I passed out a couple times. I was just shaking like nonstop. And the most frustrating part is like when I went to my doctor, like they just completely invalidated me. Like, cause like I mean, okay, so when I got my COVID vaccine the third day, I did in fact get sick. But personally, I don't think the rabies shots like had anything to do with the symptoms that I was feeling.
Shot. That's so funny. Oh, she got taken out.
So I'm not sure what's happened there. It looks like she's dropped down. And Kevin, are you ready to share?
Cancel culture.
Well, I saw a bunch of girls getting together in this group, and I thought somebody had better go and keep an eye on them. You never know what they're getting themselves into. So just want to encourage you. I don't know your first name. I don't know. What is your name?
No.
If that's okay. It's all right. It's going to be too personal. But, hey, just want to say that I'm encouraging you.
That's not a follower. That's a real guy.
Gosh, what's going on with the space? Like, people are bombarding you with nonsense?
That's a real guy.
This happened when you came in here, Kevin. Yeah, it just seems like we've had a couple of old trolls come in here. They think they're funny. It's Friday, whatever. This is a space where we're, it's a mental health check-in. As like we've been talking about this evening. That they're funny. It's
Friday. Sorry.
Whatever. From many of our point of view.
Here, we can do this again.
It's a mental health check-in. As we've been talking about.
Bro, they're blaming Kevin. It was me, and they're blaming Kevin.
From many of our point of view, mine, I will talk.
This is Kevin. Look.
Is that everybody?
They follow him.
Injured by what's been going on right now.
This guy's real.
We need a safe space to talk about what are the things that we have found that helped us cope.
I can't believe they're blaming
over
Kevin.
The past couple of years, I have lost friends to suicide during this time.
Jesus
mostly,
Christ!
All of them have been vaccine injured. So that's what this is about. Sort of the strategies that we found. Mine is listening to music, cooking, gardening, building a new sense
Fucking
of community
Kevin.
with my friends.
All right, I think that's
Karen,
enough.
Gloria, Fran. That's been really important to me.
Dr. Kembo. I can't believe, I'm so glad I stayed until they started blaming Kevin. That is so fucking funny. Well, it started after you got here, Kevin. I can't believe how he opened, too. He literally said, I saw a couple of ladies in here. What a
I don't believe it.
Oh my god, dude. I can't believe I got away with saying my son was 40 when I'm 42. And then I said, they were like, how old was your son? And I was like, he's 30. I cannot fucking believe that, dude. Oh my god. I don't know how you got away with it. Because they believe anything. They believe anything that confirms their biases. As long as you play along a little bit. I wasn't even doing a good job. As long as you play along a little bit. That's all that fucking matters. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I'm gonna keep following them just in case they go live again and I can come back. White old people are like sponges? Yeah. That was awesome. What a great detraction. Oh. That was intense though, I gotta say. That was that was stressful. I'm tired now. Okay, so
No way! I don't believe it!
Big Guy Mel, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thanks everybody for subbing for me going through all that.
No way!
Thanks guys. That was so funny. That was great. Arya's online again for the 7 months. Thank you so much. Rice bye with another 5 gifted subs. Oh my god.
I don't believe it!
Hey, rest in peace, John Boy. Pour one out for John Boy. I'm not gonna actually pour one out. There's nowhere for me to pour it, but pour one out for John Boy.
I don't believe it!
Died at the tragic age of 40 and 30.
No way!
It's John Boy. It's not John Boy. Rest in peace, John Boy.
No way! I don't believe it!
Hey y'all, Hashy.
I can make burners and do it again.
No way! I don't believe
Thanks again all for the subs. Yeah, take a knee for fucking John Boy. So now I'm going to I'm going to Angelia's, oh my god, Angelia's Facebook page. God, there's so much ambient noise in all these fucking videos.
I don't believe it!
Take a look at this.
This is the real test. Going down the
Oh my god, Dujan Art for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Vulture1304 with the 4 months. What did I say, 5 months? 5 gifted subs. Just do another voice for the next space. That would be funny. Look, she's fine. Ivermectin. Ivermectin, the cure for my neurological issues after the vax. I need you guys to think. Use your mind a little bit.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. If anyone is even having a little bit of hesitation as to laughing at these people, she thinks she can do this because of ivermectin. I need you to think about
John
this.
Boy.
For John Boy. Thank you guys for all the subs. She thinks she could do this because of ivermectin. She's fine now. Not a goddamn twitch in her body. And then look, she's like still shaking now.
I don't believe it!
Ugh. She painted her toenails.
No way! I don't believe it!
How'd she do that? Better than I was? No, this is bad. Commit. Oh my god, what is the quality?
No way! I don't believe
Some of these people gotta believe this.
So, this is how my legs are. This morning when I
What happened to the ivermectin, Angelia?
them out.
What happened? Was she at fucking January 6th? What the fuck? No. That would have been funny though. "19 months post the P? What is the P? What the fuck is the P? The prostate? She's stomping like a little dinosaur. Oh my god, she's going so fast. This is me after 1 yerba mate. That's great. Who said prolapse? All right, that's all of the videos on her Facebook page. On top of, oh yeah, I watched this yesterday.
Okay. I know this looks like a lot, but
This is everything she takes to keep herself alive, apparently, according to her.
let this get you a little bit overpowered. All right.
Overpowered.
So.
Stop! Ah!
Let's see if my legs shake.
Guys, do this at home. If you stretch your leg out like that, take this pole. Oops. If you stretch your leg out like that, you can make it shake. Is it gay to have sex with women? Yeah, of course.
Yep.
There's no way this isn't fetish material. No fucking way.
There we go.
At least one man has squeezed his hog to this. God, the audio is always so bad. Thank God it's only ever happening when she fucking sits down. Unless they're already filming. This video is so funny. She turned the light on. It's always the thighs. Oh, and then she keeps walking, but now there's no sound. She's got the same fucking disease as Amy Klobuchar, where her head's fucking bobbing all over the place. That's about it. She tried to take a picture. Need some EDM over them wiggling, yeah. Brant, her son, yes, her son's name is Brant, oops, has a lot more videos on his page. He's the one who posted the viral one on Facebook, and then she posted it on Twitter. She has a Twitter presence, of course. We already kind of looked through that. I mean, yeah, we've pretty much seen all the videos.
Happy 4 months, P-Man.
Thanks. Thanks for the 4 months. Not Brant. Thanks, I like frogs. 00129. Actual disabled people get look at that and laugh. I have roommates that get mad at how much food and kitchenware I keep and need for my metabolic disorder. Yeah, like that's one of the biggest problems with this, right? Is it's like really fucking damaging for actual people with neurologic and metabolic and fucking disabilities you can't see.
Oh my God! He admitted.
Not having a good day today, people.
I mean, she takes ivermectin for this shit, man. Come on. Let's look at her Twitter again. She wasn't in the Twitter space. Wait, let me look at her media. Just constantly posting pictures like she's in the hospital, like Markiplier.
You see it? Right back there?
Dude, this is a normal muscle twitch.
It just pulse.
Yeah, that's a normal muscle twitch. You see it? So close to her fucking leg. Okay. A lot of the footage is just her pointing her phone at the camera. What the fuck? What's this machine? Is this her new vibrator?
Oh my God! He admitted.
Do not use this EMF wand. So many have come to me with major and persistent worsening of symptoms. We are finding many therapies to help. This ain't one of them. They're just trying to take away something that is helping with vaccine injuries?
And then when we get to the device...
What?
And obviously there's a lot of flack going around at the moment and people are believing that there is. But I'm failing to find it.
Is
There you
what?
go.
What does this
Through
mean?
the cable, 300.
300 what?
320. It ranges a bit. And then when we get to the device, switch it on.
What the fuck is this device? It's a hairdryer.
Where's the EMF.
So he's saying there's no EMF? What? What is she trying to prove? I have no idea what this means. 3 weeks after using, and I'm back to where I was 2 years ago from my vax injury. Wait, she's saying that this caused this?
This is what happens if I straighten out my leg.
Oh, skipping from like here to here is so funny.
This is what happens if I straighten out my legs. So I was one of the first healthcare workers.
Shut up. Oh, P is Pfizer. That does not translate.
It's everywhere.
Oh my god. Ugh.
From my stomach.
It's just straight up
down to my
anxiety, dude.
legs.
I've shaken like this more going like in my freshman year of high school, like getting ready to go to school.
Oh, today is
16 months later, and my personal earthquake stays with me. Thanks, Pfizer. 7 months post the dirty Pfizer. When does the shaking stop? When you fucking take a deep breath. A day in the life of the Jabba injured.
Oh, this one's pretty bad.
Bro, she's holding the camera. She only like she thinks about shaking it sometimes. So she's done a couple of talks. She's gone on a lot of shows.
We're not shaking at all. It's just my legs.
Yeah, very convenient, huh?
What do you have a vaccine injury?
I have a vaccine injury from the Pfizer vaccine that I took on 1/5/2000.
Come on, dude. This isn't what people with like compulsive fucking or like inadvertent like shaking. It's just not what it looks like.
3 days later,
She's just crazy and then is getting rewarded for being crazy.
I feel like this for about 20 minutes now.
But she had the ability to take her phone out, prop it up, and film a TikTok. Yeah, even her dog is like, yo, you don't do this. What's up? This is what happens when you have your first orgasm at 50. Oh my god. Ain't no way. Oh, that's so good.
Oh my god.
Let's look at her actual Twitter account. Let's see what her posts are. Look at her fucking husband. Oh my god. She lives in Mississippi. And Informed Life Radio with host Bernadette Padger. In battle, you don't leave the wounded behind. God. So let me just inform you of the new rumors. I am being paid by Pharma. I sure hope they will expedite my check. Oh my god.
This Alex guy, I didn't even know who Alex was. I had to Google him.
Well, let's get into that for a second. This is Alex Berenson, folks, for many of you that watch this show.
Classic grifter, former New York Times reporter, but now he's just like a fucking psycho.
We have quoted some of the work that he's done.
Oh, dude, it's Del Bigtree. I forgot about Del Bigtree.
Former, I believe it's New York Times reporter, lost his job and has been speaking out on the problems with the COVID vaccine, really tried to claim this is his territory.
Big Del.
We've never had him on the show. We've asked. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on Del Bigtree's Big Tree Hour. First of many interviews to set the record straight. I mean, this is what it's all about, right? Is just to see yourself on TV and the internet. I just invited you to join. Oh, if you're ready for change in Mississippi, go check out this page for John Witcher for governor. My sweet friend Rhea has literally been one of my angels. She's got fucking 10 fucking Instagram filters. Oh, I've seen this before.
Sure, Ben. Sleeves up. I'm a fighter girl in a COVID world. I'm the classic, mRNA-tastic, 95%. There's no argument, got no contagion.
It hurts.
It's my vaccination.
Come on, Michael, let's go party.
With a mask on.
Come on, Michael, let's go travel.
Only essential.
You can listen to that working out and it would just like make you want pain. Oh, okay. Well, that was a little late. That was a little late on that one. Boom. Please censor this. I dare you. From an ER doc in Louisiana. Please share. It's a Rumble link.
That Omicron next, but this latest variant might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds
You think she's a grifter? Yeah, I know. Obviously. I'm making a video about her because it's funny. Oh, this is a live.
2 years to the date.
I feel like I'm going insane. These women look identical.
That I took my vaccine. And
she said vaccine.
And tomorrow is 2 years for Angelia.
God, there's nothing going on in these women's heads.
No way! I don't believe it!
In a depression moment, but pee and stream
Aw.
always cheers me up.
Thanks, Renus Manic, for the 4 months. Glad you're here. This is crazy, dude. What the fuck? Ugh. If you're able, I would love to discuss my EMF sensitivity that I've been battling since January of 2015 following a CT scan. These are literally, this person is literally the fucking dad, or not the dad, the brother from Better Call Saul. I have an EMF, I have an allergy to electricity. Anyway, I mean, that's most of it. So I've got a lot of shit to write about now. How can a person look so fucked? Oh, man. That was awesome. Dogs out. I got somewhere to be, otherwise I would stick around longer. Oh, this is going to turn to YouTube. The whole thing is going to be a video, so don't worry. Like a main channel video. So don't worry about that. She looks like the stepmother you hate? True. Yeah, it's true. You're right.
Hell yeah.
Let's raid Gut Knot. We already have the knotheads in here. Gut Knot doing a Lego stream. If you guys would like to go see Gut Knot do a Lego stream, please go watch Gut Knot do a Lego stream. Tell her we said hi. Be nice, be normal, have a great night. I'm going to be making this video. It's going to come out on Tuesday, so I probably won't be streaming until then. I will try to stream on Tuesday. That'd be nice. So that'll probably be the next time I see you guys. Wish me luck on this video. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Be safe. Wear a condom. All right, go say hi to Gut Knot. Bye.